Anyway,
so like it's happening for everybody today. So what is it? This is what election?
Midterms.
This is the midterm election. Okay, all right. November after. Yeah, okay.
Right.
So I'm getting blasted with like first selectman stuff, and I really think
What about JC?
politically inclined humans, if they're acting, in a hey buddy, and like within their own rational self-interest, they should care a lot more about local elections, municipal elections. Like this is the stuff that impacts them tomorrow, next week.
I know there's a communist that's going to be the mayor of New York City, which is really scary. But let's go.
We're already going, man.
Oh.
We're here.
We're on it.
No, I know, but
baby.
All right. He wants to start. He wants to start for real.
Yeah. Let's go. We got markets are moving.
All right. Of our chat, they see they're already correcting me. It's not the midterms. This is just another election year. So that's how closely I've been following this.
Midterms are next year, bro.
Midterms are next year, bro. Who said that?
So they're 2 years after the presidential election is the midterm.
Right. Whoever said that?
We're 1 year in.
Yeah.
Spencer, it's like you're not even paying attention. This is the post-election year. Next year is the midterm year,
right?
And then the pre-election year, and then the election year. So this is year 1 of the 4-year cycle.
Right.
Midterm years are year 2. Which are historically the worst years of the 4-year cycle for stocks, by the way.
Oh, boy. Oh, that's good to know.
That's why the market is going to peak on March the 21st of 2026. That's going to be the top.
Why?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just making it up. I don't know.
Because that's a Fed day, Steve.
Yeah, I'll tell you, though, Island Steve really puts the lime in the coconut.
I've only known Island Steve. I didn't know Connecticut Steve.
Right? I swam with sea turtles yesterday, so that was
fun. That's good. You tickle the belly?
You're not supposed to touch them, so I didn't. But you could swim right over them and follow them around. It's cool. They're just hanging out on the beach. It's nice.
Good for you. Where are you? St. John's?
St. John. It's actually you don't pluralize it. St. John. Yeah.
Oh, it's just a singular John. Got it.
I'm learning. Yeah.
Like moose. It's just.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, as lovely as it is here, the whole island is a vibe, but it's. I'm a big island person, right? So when I come to places like this, I'm thinking like, could I do this? Like, could I live here? And the answer is a hard no here.
Really?
Like,
why?
The beauty scale is 10 out of 10 here. I mean, it's incredible.
What's the problem?
The convenience score is a 0. I mean, we're way out on the other side of the island where like people honeymoon and stuff like that. They call it Lover City. It's great. There's not a fucking restaurant around. There's no food here. Like we're really on our own. So it's cool in that way, but it's nothing like Key West where you have like a downtown area and a bunch of beach bars. This is just beautiful beaches, scenery, and you got to drive your Jeep to get wherever the hell you're going, and it's going to scare the living hell out of you to get there.
How third world is it on a scale of 1 to 10?
This is full island. This is full island economy stuff. So, there's the island economy, no matter what, right? They all vary, but poverty.
Yeah, they're all poor.
Very present and in your face in like an island economy. And this one's no different in that way. So,
but people are generally happy. Generally speaking, they are happy
in the best mood. Yeah, because you get like crazy people who are just so happy all the time that those are the kinds of people who move to islands. Right. You know what I mean?
You want to know? I got a hot take. You know who the happiest people in the world are? The happiest people. To your point.
No.
It's an island. It's
in my opinion. In my opinion, it's an island.
You're gonna say Hawaii?
Further, the Fijians.
Really? Yeah.
Dude, these are some happy, funny motherfuckers, man. I'm telling you.
And it's contagious. Like their vibe is great. It's good energy. So enjoying that.
The Fijians, man. Those guys are awesome.
And I'll tell you here too. Let me say one good thing.
Kind of Indian. They look kind of Indian, by the way.
Let me say,
they're like dark.
A quick a good thing. Virgin Islands doesn't miss on beach drinks. Like forget a margarita, forget your pina colada. You drink painkillers here. They do them in like 18 different varieties. I have doing it with like the real cream of coconut. This is the capital of the world when it comes to painkillers and beach drinks. They really do. They do a lovely job. So we've been putting the lime in the coconut.
I will tell you who else is happy this morning. Probably shareholders of let's see, of Hertz.
Palantir.
I mean, Palantir, Uber. It was a very. I mean, I thought the numbers they were all good. I know the stock is down a little bit, but you know, there's a lot of happy people this morning. I mean, I thought there was some good. Pretty much everybody that reported that was big overnight came in above estimates. I know Palantir
though.
Yeah, I mean,
crushed.
I guess crush is a strong word, right?
Well, this stock has just been sideways.
I guess down 8%. 8%'s not nothing. I know Palantir is down as well. But
I own both of these.
Yeah, but they said a lot of good things last night, and the numbers came in above estimates. So
the Palantir is basically back to where we got in, but the Uber's one to watch. I might be getting stopped out of the Uber. Not yet, but it's close.
You know, this stock has been so frustrating, JC. It went from one prolonged tight range last year, didn't even get like a nice leg up or nice reaction rally out of that range, right into another prolonged range that's been stuck in now all year this year. So frustrating. Frankly,
I'm inclined to say to pull a JC here and just be like, let him dance, right? Like it's been one overnight session, and I get it that they're down this morning, but I mean.
I'm going to go through the 3 scariest charts in the market on the open bar today.
There we
go. Ooh. What do you say we do a little state of the markets, huh?
All right.
Please.
What's happening?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have the Dow futures up to down 2/3%, down 300 this morning, 47,175. S&P 500 futures down over 1%, 6,800, down almost 80 handles this morning. Nasdaq 100 futures down 1.5%, leading the way lower, down 400, 25,700, just below that, believe it or not. 30-year Treasury bonds up a smidge, 117.5 almost. Crude oil down 1.5%, back to 60 and change. Copper down 2.5%, back under 5, 494 for copper. Gold down 0.2%, back under 4,000, just under 4,000. Silver down 1.5%, 47.30 with the VIX up a ton, pushing 20 this morning. Wow. With all these indexes, you know, just nose hair from new all-time highs. VIX is pushing 20. That's interesting. Bitcoin has been taking it in the chin. Bitcoin 104,000, down 2.2% on the day. You got Ethereum down 2.3%, down to 3,500. Now 500 points from 4,000. You got Solana. It's really gotten hit, 162, down another 2.5% on the day. Total crypto market cap, Mr. Spencer Israel, 3.42 trillion.
Wow.
3.42 trillion.
Lower than yesterday. Every day, inches lower.
Right.
Right.
Crypto got from this morning's futures?
These things got spanked last night.
Spanked?
Yes, my crypto account. I have a very good read just by looking at the action of my crypto account. It was a bad night for altcoins, Steve. Solana is literally blowing through a key level. Ethereum, Bitcoin, right at equivalent key levels. Bitcoin's below. Ethereum barely holding on. It's probably still the strongest of them, but this is what we're looking at. This is the action. These are tops right now. They're tops until they're not.
That's the anchored VWAP from the April lows.
We've dug in there over and over and over again, and you could literally just see it on this price chart. You don't need a momentum indicator, but you could tell momentum is diverging bearishly, right? This trend is getting tired. We keep testing more and more frequently this big major level, and right now the bears are in control, and this is a top. This is a top. Treat it like a top until it proves that it's not a top, and you're getting confirmation from other cryptocurrencies like Solana. Throw up the Solana. Fonz, Rick, we got that one from my Twitter. Like, breaking a very clear uptrend channel that it's been in off of the April lows, taking out that VWAP, right? That bulls have been in control of the past 6-7 months. So things are definitely changing out here. And I would also say it's a read. on the broader market. It's a read on the broader risk asset landscape. If you lose crypto here, if you lose Bitcoin and friends, you do have to look through to the large cap growth trade, the speculative growth trade, tech, and say, I wonder, what does that mean, right? Because I think of Bitcoin as a Magnificent Seven. I think of Solana as a top ARK stock, like a Tesla, right? You could think of Ethereum as maybe like a second tier large cap growth or large cap, big cap tech stock. So there's definitely some information there for the broader market, for the equity market.
If you're speaking of Tesla, new year-to-date highs yesterday.
It looks fantastic. It looks fantastic.
Oh, now it looks fantastic. All right. A couple months ago, I was crazy because I like to get involved in controversial stocks. Now it looks fantastic.
You're so controversial. You can't stay away from the controversy. You're good at it. You dabble in these battleground stocks. It looks like you got yourself a winner.
Tesla's a battleground stock.
Yeah, it is, and you know it. And I'm objective, okay? I try to keep it straight. I see a coil like that. I can be honest. A coil. It's hard to find a better looking chart, a more actionable chart in the Mag 7 right now.
Steve, if crypto and Bitcoin and all that, if that's the first line of defense, would you say the second line of defense is like the junky growth? Like forget Tesla, like the rigatoni, the Oklo, right? All these are off their highs. They haven't like rolled over yet per se, but they are off the high.
You nailed it. And October was characterized by failed breakouts for this universe of stocks that you're referring to, speculative growth. October was not a good month for speculative growth. It was great for large cap, for big cap tech, right? The Mag 7's fantastic. Speculative growth really, really struggled in October. So the stage is already set, right? We've already had some failed moves. The stage is set for some fast moves. And I think if Bitcoin and friends are going to collapse here, you look right to the ARK indexes, you look at the quantum stocks, you look at the space and exploration, right? The really offensive, really risk-on stuff, I would expect to falter here. And I think it's set up to do that just based on the price.
When you talk about speculative growth struggling in October, ARK was up 3% for October and small cap tech was up 9% for October. So what do you mean? Why are you saying that speculative growth had a
I trade these stocks all day, every day. It was a rough month.
Speculative enough.
The indexes that represent speculative growth
no. JC, ARK is not.
I don't know what to tell you, dude.
ARK is not speculative growth?
It's not. No, that's not what I said. I said it's not speculative enough for what we're talking about here.
In there.
PSCT, small cap tech up 9%.
Dude, right, great.
Look, this is the world I'm living in with these stocks every day, and trust me, October.
I must live in a different world.
Okay, fine.
I must live in such a different world than Strazza, someone who I talk to every fucking morning, and we're looking at the same goddamn stocks.
Look, nobody who's trading these speculative growth stocks, is deep in there, is saying October was a good month. I'm sorry.
All right. If you have as many biotech stocks as I've got, you're doing okay.
Chat, tell them. Help me out here.
Oh, yeah, biotech is terrible. Is biotech no longer speculative growth?
There are degrees.
I don't understand. Like what are we talking about here?
I don't know why not doing well. This is striking a chord so much with you. But it is what it is.
Yeah, because our audience takes time out of their day. Our audience takes time out of their day to come here, hang out with us, and you're giving them fake news. Fake news. Biotechnology was up 12% for October. Small cap tech was up 9% for October. ARK was up 3%. Dude. Literally outperforming.
Get your head out of the indexes, okay? Your head is literally so far up the indexes that you can't think straight right now, okay? Go look under the hood. Hey, JC, why don't you go count? Why don't you go count them out?
XBI is equally weighted. XBI is equally weighted, remember? So I am literally counting.
No one's even. We're not even talking about that.
Great, my friend. You're right.
Biotech's not speculative growth now.
It is. Just forget what I said.
Oh my gosh!
Forget what I said.
Hold on.
Quantum.
We got some goodies. Hold on. We got some goodies. You want some goodies? Throw up the new slide too, please.
Oh.
So Strazza
JC just triggered everybody.
Your friends over at Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley are telling your parents that there's a correction coming.
No, what they're saying is actually stocks go up and then stocks go down. That's what they're telling our parents.
It says, according to CNBC. Anybody know what CNBC stands for?
Hey, be nice. Hey.
I used to. I don't anymore.
Consumer News and Business Channel.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
Right.
Did you know that?
So NBC is a news and business channel? I thought it was.
No, that's National Broadcasting Corporation.
So they're using the same 3 letters, but they mean different things.
That's right.
Wow.
Yes.
So Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley telling your parents that a market correction is coming. Now, let's see what go to the Daily Mail. This is a good one.
This is the top. I saw you tweet this yesterday.
This is so good. So, according to Daily Mail, and I quote, "We've never been so sure of an imminent financial crash. Industry leaders across all sectors, not one sector, all sectors, come together to say these signs of U.S. economic meltdown are undeniable." Ooh, undeniable. How do you feel about that, sir?
I would have to actually scroll down on this and see who. I don't know why the headline is not in quotes. It sounds like a quote to me. I don't know who said that. The Daily Mail was not saying that, I don't think, but I don't know because I haven't.
And by the way,
that.
you know what I find really interesting here? These are not angry liberals, which is what we've been used to. The people that we've been trying to take advantage of, right? This is a conservative. Editorial, whatever.
Jason,
yeah, it's definitely an editorial. It might be an editorial actually, because it looks like it was written by their deputy consumer editor, so it could be an editorial. Yeah, I don't know. It's dude. Just don't overthink it. It's the Daily Mail. Okay,
I'm just saying they've been around for like 140 years, and it's not angry liberals because that would just be par for the course. This is coming from a conservative side, so I think that's interesting.
No.
Okay. No,
JC, the chat thinks your voice is sexy. What? Does Morgan agree? Does she want you to keep it?
Does Morgan think my voice is sexy? I think she liked it better when I wasn't able to talk.
Right. Definitely. It was probably a nice break for her.
You sound like a moron. You're like the dumbest smart guy. That's what she says.
That's okay.
I don't understand how you could be so dumb.
Hey, it's not bad being one of the dumb smart guys. Trust me.
Throw up slide 9. You know, Strazza stole my thunder with this fake news about speculative growth struggling.
You're so wrong about that.
Okay. I count, remember.
JC.
While you're in St. John's, swimming with fucking turtles. I'm sitting here counting like a gentleman.
JC, just look at the quantum stocks. That's all you have to do.
Spencer's I don't own any quantum stocks.
Spencer's telling you right now.
I didn't say own them. I said look at them.
That's why I don't own them.
Spencer, tell them to count. It's a trigger.
So this is the last 3 months, and what's really interesting is that biotechs. I don't think Strazza has seen a biotech bull market ever. Have you? Yeah, I guess you have.
Yeah,
but not many.
Though it's been a really long time.
Yeah.
These are the best stocks on the market. This is a great chart. Best stocks on the market. And what this chart really is showing you is it's been going on for some time now. I would say this really began in September. You had that big ramp up in early September. And we've been looking at this group like, are they going to catch lower? Are they going to catch lower? Are they going to fail their breakouts too? And no, the biotechs aren't. So you're right. I totally agree with you on that. This is the single strongest corner of speculative growth. I would say the single strongest corner of the entire market right now.
That's saying something.
Yeah.
It's What's not stronger? Just on an equally weighted basis, it's on a market cap weighted basis, right? So going back to the counting side of it.
And I mean, really, just if the bios weren't on here, what would really stand out as an outlier on this chart? The outperformance from XLK, from large cap tech. That's some significant alpha over a short period of time, right? In safe large cap stocks. So that's pretty cool too. Like that's big leadership there. What? Almost doubling the performance of the S&P 500 since August. That's killer. That's really cool. Shout out big tech.
Dare I ask why? Do we think there's a why for the biotechs doing this? Or?
Yeah, these assholes were more short biotechs than ever in history.
I think that's a lot of it. I think the positioning has been a lot of it.
Yeah, you think all of a sudden the fundamentals of biotechnology magically changed 3 months ago? No, these assholes are getting squeezed.
Yeah, there was a lot of built-up energy here. And technically speaking, it's uber bullish to see the resilience, right, and the lack of any really corrective action.
I want to address, we have a newcomer here, so be nice to him. Don't be mean to because he's new and ignorant. But this guy, Parets Agrawal, says JC's a permeable, doesn't want to hear a bearish argument. If you clearly knew around here, because if you know anything about me, I actually wrote a post last week titled, I am not a permeable. So if you're curious, go ahead and if you can share that for me, Spencer, there in the chat. So not only am I not a permeable, I hope the market crashes. That would be the best thing ever. A 90% complete collapse, wipe everybody out. Nothing could be better. I'm 43 years old. I would love to buy stocks at massive discounts. I would love nothing more than a market crash, but betting on one in the middle of a bull market is idiotic. So I don't.
I wonder if he's related to Preet Bharara.
Who's that?
It's pretty idiotic too.
Oh, that's a blast from the past. Okay. We have Kenny here, and we got Tommy Lackey here, by the way, and Phil will be on in a little bit. So we had a lot of people joining us today. We are very, very lucky. Should we?
I think we shall. He's definitely buying Palantir, 100%. Hundo P.
Well, actually, in all seriousness, I do like. Yeah, I bet you he's probably taking the long side.
Yeah, I'm saying. Let's find out.
Yeah.
It's been a long time coming. They ain't come from my club, they tug it. Putting up numbers, 99 pounds, and I still kept it 100. Hola. Yeah.
Kenny, how much Palantir are you buying?
Shh. Alex Karp is talking.
Is he?
He's on CNBC right now.
Oh. Wow, that's 2 CNBC shout-outs this morning. Wow.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, I think maybe the ways the people that are in charge of the market, maybe they've dragged it to 180. So I've been holding out. I've actually only traded NVTS and the Q.
Let's get right into it. Show me what you're seeing here. Because even yesterday, Spencer and I were like, "Yo, Kenny's definitely going to be involved in this tomorrow." And so I want to see where your head is at. Because I'm long the stock, not for a day trade. I'm long the stock because I'm long the stock.
Yeah, which one are you talking about, Palantir or NVTS?
Palantir.
Yeah, hang on a second. Yeah, it's right where you want it to be at the moment. But I'm actually rooting against you right now. I'd like to see it a full-blown capitulation, but you've been rejected twice. So you had a foe and a show, but you got rejected. And look at the
enormous Where's the foe? Which
sell-off. Fake them out, shake them out, but you didn't get the bro part, and now you got it again. So that's the trend right now. So I'm hoping that they smash this thing down to the 180 level, really get that capitulation.
Yeah, but if this thing takes out 192, it's gone.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm not even saying I don't want to manifest anything.
192.
Wait, hold on.
192 gets you 205. Tell me I'm wrong.
Well, I don't know about 205, but again, I wouldn't be too surprised to see the whole market go green today.
What about Fat Finger Freddy there after the market?
Wait, Kenny, I wanted to know. So, at the blue line there, I mean, we're not there now, but we just almost were. What do you do at the blue line? Are you buying on the break? Are you shorting it for a rejection?
Yeah, well, like I said, now that it's been rejected 3 times so far in the morning, I'm sticking with that trend. VWAP is now, it's basically computers right there. I mean, you're seeing it. It's getting rejected at the VWAP. So a couple more shakes, faux shows underneath, get some of that little rubber band pulled back a little bit more, and then shoot it through the VWAP. That's when I'll be a buyer. But
Kenny, what about that fat finger after the print yesterday to 200? I mean, that's not really a fat finger because there was real volume there. It just faded quick, right?
Yeah. Well, no, that's kind of an out of money one. But what I want to show you yesterday is the elusive beast that was.
Oh yeah, that was a fat finger there. Yeah.
This was a real print.
That was a real print.
That was a real print, but just to show, and that's what I call it when the market's rigged. Last week on Thursday night, we had 17 companies report. Out of those 17, 16 of them hit exact prints, half numbers or whole numbers in the aftermarket. In the most volatile moment of stocks history, in the aftermarket, you're still seeing the absolute rigging of the market. So last night, you got the blow off top, and then the rollover. Here's where you're short. I took some short last night, and I was brave enough to hang in there with it. But, I didn't go crazy because, shorting is short-lived and you're going to die. So, I didn't want to stay short overnight. So by 8 o'clock, I was taking the money. But the Qs I stayed short because Palantir kind of is the Qs right now, and you saw some the steam right out of the market, and whether or not you guys wanted to comment on that breath yesterday, I believe I got to be watching 700 stocks. About 698 of them were red over the last couple of days, but the market didn't go down. So it's kind of like the ground is loosening up, and then it's going to give way. We also got a gap fill on the Qs, but inevitably, shorting is short-lived and you're going to die is still going to come into play. But can I get 3 days? That's all I want. Give me 3 days. Give me 3 days. Give me the Qs down to 608 and change. We'll have some fun. We'll kiss our wives, and then we'll move on.
Man,
but there's so many things to look at today.
There's so many. There's so many things. All right, and
yeah, I want you guys to look at Hertz because that's where I'm probably going to be going. I love me a short squeeze stock when they report earnings. Already had a sick move at 8 o'clock. So I'm just looking for that consolidation underneath VWAP. When this rips again, chances are this will be the one that we love to play. I love me some Hertz. Hertz is like the open trade. That stock keeps on paying us. There's a couple of ones, NCLH, you got down below VWAP. If you guys are watching this, same situation. You're just waiting for the new low to hit, then the break of the VWAP. And that triggers usually some buying. But the thing you want to look at today is for us day traders, you want to look at the UVXY. If it's above 11, there probably won't be too much bounces today. But under, let's go say 1075, the market will start feeling itself. The shorters will get nervous. The buy and the dippers will come in. And again, I'd have to give it more than a 50% chance that we go green today. I don't want to see it. I'm with you. I'd like to see a full-blown crash. I don't think it's going to happen, but right now for me, it's all about day trading. I have 0 positions. I cashed out of my long-term holdings. I'm not in SRAD. I
was going to say, what about SRAD?
SRAD's done. V-Wave's gone. I even sold the Clove. And now if Clove gets taken over tonight, that I'm cursed. This is the first time I'm Cloveless for the first time in like 18 months. I've owned this dumb stock for a while. We made some good money on it on the option expiration, but I'm all about the Qs today and, staying focused on this market, filling this gap. So if it rolls over, we got some more selling to do. So I think it could be nice, another 12 or 13 points to the downside. And I want to be there for it. So I'm sticking with the Qs. And obviously, again, if you're not watching Palantir, you're crazy. But, right down there.
Can you do the NVTS, please? This thing's down like 17%, down to 10. There's former resistance there.
Big fan of it down. Now that it's crashed, the high was $17. Now it's down to $10. So again, you got paid 3 times on a fake out, shakeout, breakout. There it is, friends. So you faux show, VWAP break. And again, for the day trader, we're fine with this move. A little underneath the 10, breaks back over the 10, then it breaks the VWAP. It's a beautiful move. This is a $10 stock ripping 50 cents. You get your 1,000 shares. That's how you start your day. But really, my friends, a lot of people have been asking about futures trading. Futures trading with the VWAP is the way to go. It's just one line. There it was, a very innocent break, and then it tested last night at 8:30. Right there, you knew something was different because every time the futures roll over, they faux show, and then they break VWAP and rip all the shorts' heads off. That was a major, major inflection point when you didn't break last night and you actually rolled over. And that was a wonderful short for, 250 points. And on one contract, you're talking about $5,000. So futures trading with the VWAP, you got to try it. If you haven't tried it, do it. And by the way, if it was up to me, it's all I trade. One line on the chart. And it saves me and tells me what to do. It's fantastic.
And you can trade with him every single day at hitthebid.com. Funny how that works out.
Here's another one I'm maybe looking to crush. I hate all of these stocks.
There's no better time to be trading with Kenny. There's so much shit going on.
There is so much stuff going on. Like these stocks, I don't get them. The Huts, the Galaxies, the Maras, the Ciphers, the Riots. I want them to all go to 0. I'm back, baby. I hate every stock. All right, so I'm coming to play today. So again, I probably will wind up buying some dips, but right now I'm just watching those VIX products. If they stay elevated, this market's going a lot lower. Be careful.
All right. So if you're counting at home, reasons to be bearish, crypto rolling over, quantum maybe rolling over, Kenny rolling over, everybody's rolling over.
You know what? The market, like I said, the stocks, all those momentum stocks gave it up 2 weeks ago. So it's like the Qs are the kings in the battle, right? So they send all the pawns and the Irish into the battle, for you Braveheart reference, and they get slaughtered. And then the Qs are like, can't get me. But I think we're due. Again, it's very hard for this market to go down when I think still Tesla's going to 3,000, Nvidia's going to 500, and I still think Palantir's will be a $500 stock and taken over by the government. But who cares about that? I want to make money today. All right, I'll see you.
All right.
Oh wow, I like his conspiracy theory there. I'm not gonna lie.
Hard to even
Department of Defense buys Palantir.
Hey, let me address something.
What White House Asset Management?
Steve, I don't know if you heard, but Kenny's on our side.
I did
hear heard that. Yeah.
Look, there's a really good comment in the chat, and I'm gonna just actually because it's really important. I think Josh said we just invented quantum as a sector like 5 months ago. We're really going to use that as a signal. Pass. Yes, and that's part of the reason why these are the hot stocks of this cycle.
They were
brand new, right? But this has been one of the most offensive, biggest leadership groups out there. So just for that reason, because they have been the biggest leaders, the most exciting stocks of this cycle, they're packed with information. I don't make the rules. I don't decide that it's quantum stocks that become the best stocks in the market. That just happens. The market decides that for me.
Well, now they're the biotechs.
That there's information there, and we got to watch them. Biotechs are not in that category, sir. They just started working.
Good. Let me know when they enter that category so I can sell them.
Okay, there you go. So there's some sentiment. But
do you
agree with what I'm saying?
Speaking of which, you guys didn't even notice my attire today.
No, you're right.
You got your microphone there. Oh, Canada. Eh? Wow.
So this is my most Canadian shirt ever. My most Canadian outfit. This is a Tim Hortons shirt. I got it at the Tim Hortons.
Dude, so good.
At the Hockey Hall of Fame, which is the most Canadian shit ever. Tim Hortons in the Hockey Hall of Fame. I got that there.
Now I realize.
And the reason, if you throw up slide 2, just want to give a shout out to our neighbors up north. Shout out to Canada.
Yeah, you got to.
New all-time highs for the Canada TSX index. Strazza, how many of those Mag 7 stocks are in the Canadian TSX index?
0.
I forget.
0. Shopify.
There we go.
1.
There we go.
We had dinner across the street from the headquarters of Shopify, and I didn't even know.
Yeah, man. Toronto, big city.
You like Toronto or what?
Yeah. Fan. Big fan. Yep.
Toronto's great.
I do.
Love it. Big shout out. Big shout out to Canada. I got another one here for you. Shout out Argentina. Throw up slide 14.
And then I'm bringing Tommy up.
Big slide 14 here. I think this is a great chart. This might be the chart of the week. This is the chart of the week.
Also, as a general rule, talking about news outlets like the Daily Mail today, just mute and block anybody who covers Michael Burry 13F filings. It's a good cheat. You know what I mean? It's a real good hack. Mute them all.
No, I think it's important because that guy from the movie tweeting everybody to sell stocks is a hallmark of healthy bull markets, right? So just keep that in mind.
You're right. So you need him for that. He gives you some good info every now and then.
Yeah, he's great. He's like that. What's that narcissist? Rich father guy. What's that guy?
Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki.
Dude, what a fucking asshole that guy is.
Yeah, he's not an asshole. He's just crazy.
That book is so popular.
He's crazy.
That guy is one of the worst humans on the planet. So he's insane. As long as that guy keeps telling you there's a crash coming, it's probably not bad for the market.
Oh, it's sad. A lot of people read that book like it's religion.
Have you read it?
Cult following.
Is it a good book?
I've never read it.
By the way, the most purchased book in the history of finance is Random Walk Down Wall Street, which is all full of lies. So
I have that one.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
Buy that one.
By far, the most bought book in the history of Wall Street. You know what the most purchased book ever is?
The most purchased book?
Yeah, it's one of the classics.
It's the Bible.
Oh, it's the Bible. It's the Bible. Right.
Yeah,
that's a trick question, though.
Yeah, but does anybody buy the
question?
Does anybody buy the Bible? Who buys a Bible? I don't know.
Are you kidding me? You go to a cheap motel.
Okay.
Mind your own business.
They're everywhere.
Bible.
I don't know.
In the
all right,
there,
Tommy, please
We're
save
in the
us,
middle of the
Tommy.
country, Spencer. Jesus.
Tommy Lackey, please save us from this.
Jay, we've been friends for a long time. Make the call.
I mean, this is pretty professional, guys.
Nice show you got going here.
What's up?
What's up, Tommy? How are you, man?
Doing great, fellas. How y'all doing?
You know, just having a nice little conversation, nice little Tuesday.
Y'all seem to be trying to stay away from the markets. They don't seem like that much fun this morning. I don't know.
Quite the opposite.
decent to me.
I'm not even a day trader, and I'm thinking about putting on a day trade on this Palantir.
I think a lot of people are jumping on the we're over already pretty quick.
You think?
I think we're pretty ahead.
Let me ask you this. I have my thoughts, but why do you think people are jumping the gun a little bit on this next market crash?
I mean, I think there's just a lot of reasons. One is that, you know, you're talking about quantum turning over right now. We're talking about some of these other hot areas turning over. Really, add up that market cap. How much is that really?
Thank you.
Versus,
Zero. Irrelevant.
we're now moving to a point to where all of our mega caps, and not just the Mag 7, but in the top 100, we're seeing a lot of those start to move out of 2, 3, 4 month sideways moves while all the rest of this stuff ran. So, you know, again, I'm a big rotation guy. I think that's what drives these markets. It doesn't have to be sector to sector. It can be size to size. And so I think we could be, while is it going to hurt the market some? I mean, a 2% pullback, I don't think is really killing the markets. But is it going to hurt the market some here as an index? Maybe, if those mega caps don't outperform a lot. But they could keep us afloat while the rest digests. You know, one of the things I said earlier this year when we came on that I felt was different about where we are now versus the last 3 or 4 years is that we always used to say, you know, when the junk starts running, that's when it's over. Well, that's when, you know, when the junk starts getting the big returns, all of that stuff that's trash, that's when it's over. And guess what? We've seen that 2 or 3 times this year, and we keep going. And so what that tells me is we are actually broadening out for the first time in quite a while. It's just not going to be straight line.
Well, here's my question about junk. Does junk, I forgot the word you just used, but
trash, junk, either one.
No.
Cash for trash.
Like junk, like does junk consolidate or base, or does it just crash?
Well, that's my point is that if you're in a market that doesn't have the liquidity to sustain it, it crashes.
Right.
But when you get into a true trending market, I've done this a couple of years. When you get into a true trending market where we're started moving into another true bull market, which I believe, yes, we've been in since 22, 23, depending on how you measure it, 21 for some people, depending on what they choose. But at the same time, we're not in a position to where, you know, this idea of a bubble to me is just way too early. We don't have things, you know, people were jumping yesterday about Google's 22 billion in the debt filing as something, oh my goodness, why are they doing this? And they've got like 100 billion in free cash flow for the quarter. I mean, come on. I mean, let's be realistic. That's just smart business. Use the money if it's cheap for you. And so in my view, we're in a scenario to where money is rotating inside these markets. That's going to continue this trend until it decides to leave. And there's no reason to leave right now.
I think what we've seen though is that like the dash for trash appears to be over for now, right? And that's okay.
It's sector by sector. That's my thing.
Yeah, trash is a very gray area.
Yeah, as I said, that's a very subjective statement. And right now, what we're calling trash is things that didn't have any earnings that might be in crypto mining or might be in quantum or might be in robotics or might be in whatever. Guess what? Every sector has trash. And the money's going to find it if we're rotating this money around. It's a matter of basically you being able to do the homework and spread it out as needed. I mean, there's definitely a lot of sectors that are starting to perform better.
Roku just closed at 3-year highs yesterday. Tesla closed at 2 year-to-date highs yesterday.
Well, these are big guys, but I mean, you can even go over to, you know, some automobiles are starting to, in a lot of different factors, automobiles, parts, things like that. I mean, AXL is a real small company. I just happened to look at one that's been doing great is GTM or GTX, sorry. But at those scenarios, I know we're not here just to throw out small names, but what I'm saying is that we used to only spread to those names when we were right at the end. And I've seen 2 or 3 times this year, we've spread to those names and the markets have continued to chug along. And that in itself is a message that this liquidity is here to stay for a while. And it's trying to find what's going to grow into this economy.
You know, Tommy, I love that you're always talking about rotation. Healthcare, biotechs was the worst in the world. Now it became the best. Energy has been the worst in the world. Starting to see some breakouts in the oil and gas. Starting to see something there. That's how I see it in terms of like rotation. What are you seeing out there?
There's always speculation. There's always speculative plays that are in play. Again, most people just can't find them fast enough. And you're kind of right. That's what it's doing, is it's trying to find where it's going now after it comes out of the quantum or whatever for the moment. I don't think these stories are necessarily over. I think they just need a rest. I mean, I look down at one of the names, and I'm big on ratcheting, to where I'll have a position I'll hold, and then I'll buy more, sell some, buy some, sell some, up and down as we go. Excuse me. And I looked at one of them and I was like, wow, it's getting killed today. And then I looked down at my P&L and I'm still up almost 50% on it. I'm like, well, okay, I could let it take a second. You know, if you buy them right, if you ride them long enough, instead of like basically hopping in and out on every single little hiccup, then a lot of these names I do think are going to continue. I don't think they're done. I can still, you know, ratchet down. I can buy puts against them. I can hedge. I can do whatever, or sell the position. But the whole point is that so many people, even today, are already, everything out there is, this is the crash. I'm panicked. I'm this, I'm that. And I'm like, this is great. You know, this is a wonderful time to be finding positions you want to be in. They may not be the last leaders we just saw, but they are there. And if you do the right screens, if you screen daily, you know, I'm sorry, I screen daily and I still find 10 to 15 things I might want to trade every day in this market. And that's narrowed down from 70. So, you know, I mean, is that really terrible? What's terrible is if you're just based on the indexes, or you're just based on these 10 or 15 hot stocks, you're going to have potentially a tough time for a bit.
You know, when you talk about, you know, market breadth in general, you talk about sector rotation. I think sector rotation is part of that conversation of market breadth, right? It's a market of stocks, right? So is it a situation where there's a few stocks that are working and the rest are falling apart? Or is it just that a few stocks are just doing a lot better than the others and the rest are rising, and it's really just rotation underneath the surface, right? So how do you, you know, personally, how do you think about sector rotation and market breadth? Do you think about it together? You separate them?
Yeah, for a long time, which I'm not doing right now, but for a long time, I broke down, and I think I was one of the originals who broke down sectors and even subsectors in breadth on every single one of them. And one of my favorites was the breadth thrust indicator, which almost nobody uses again. But when you sit down 51 subsectors next to each other and look at the breadth thrust of each one of them, you can absolutely see when money moves from one to the other. And that's just based on pure breadth. So yeah, that's happened. That's happened. That's happened.
Why'd you stop doing that? Why'd you stop?
We talked about this last time. I shut down my website at the beginning of the year just because I found myself spending a lot more time keeping up the website than I was actually doing the analysis. And I've kind of changed a lot this year. I still run my business and all that, but I'm probably 70% trading in general and doing a lot more of that and family stuff.
Talk to Grant. You guys should get together, because we're running the breadth analysis on all this stuff. You guys should totally get together, because we're doing the work anyway.
I mean, I've done it for 30. I did it for 26 years, broke it down myself, did it all myself. And basically it just came down to, I wanted to run the website. And I mean, I hate to put it the simple way, y'all beat me. You did a better job than I did. And I just never did put absolutely. We were doing the same time from that very first Oktoberfest. It was when I started mine as well. You just did better. You spent more focus on it and you did a great job. So basically, at this point,
with Grant, because I agree with you 100%. You know, the breadth at the individual sector level and at the industry group level is super, super powerful. And it's a pain in the ass. That's why I don't do it. That was it. And I got an Australian guy to do it for me. You know,
see, well, that was it. Is I did it back in the day when basically no one was doing it. I had to do it by hand and basically set it up. I got really lucky. As crazy as it is the original technical software that I learned on back in 2000.
Which was what? Out of curiosity.
Metastock.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And it was more for the individual, not the other. But because of that, and because I wasn't considered a professional, I got all the cool tools for free. Until these days, they won't give you anything. But back then, you got all the cool tools for free. So I pretty much.
That's the one that Martin Pring used to use back in the day. Yeah,
yes,
right?
Martin Pring, Greg Morris, a lot of them. Actually, I've met Greg quite a few times. He's who I learned a lot of my breadth stuff from Dean Christians. A lot of those guys are who I learned my breadth stuff from. And basically, I just took it to a deeper level to where I got it all the way down to where, if I want to look at automobiles, I can look at their breadth versus someone else and see what that does. Is really where that allows the best is that, especially that breadth thrust indicator. If Grant's not using it, pick it up, Grant. Basically that allows you to see washout levels in sectors and see who washes out first when the overall market's washing. So again, you just do the separations. And all breadth thrust really is a bound McClellan oscillator. Okay, so it's bound to 0 to 100, so you can compare them next to each other. It's like comparing all the McClellan oscillators of everybody, which we all use. It just puts them to where they're 0 to 100, so you can compare them one next to the other, no matter how many securities are in there. So it's just a great setup.
I've never been a McClellan oscillator guy, but I did once sit next to Shelly McClellan like 15 years ago at a conference. This guy was like 100, and he's sitting next to me. This dude was taking notes so fast the entire time, like he was like with a pencil, and like he's got his pencil sharpener, and he's going in there. I was flabbergasted. This guy was a legend, and his wife, she's allegedly the brain. I've never met her, but she's supposed to be the brains behind that whole operation, right?
Yeah, I met him at one of my early conferences back in, I would say, probably 98, something like that, almost 25 years ago, and rode up the elevator with him, had a great conversation with the whole family. Very nice people, very good. Now, what I would say, what I consider the McClellan oscillator is the stochastics of breadth. So it gives you the fastest signal from breadth signals from an oscillation standpoint. So again, if you know the markets are oversold, you see that only 3% of the stocks are above in that sector above their 20-day moving average, only 5 above their 50, and only about 11 above their 200. And that breadth thrust starts coming out early or diverges early out, that's your washout level. So it's just, there are great works that you can do with breadth that people think breadth is all long-term, and most of it is. But you can do some really good pinpointing, especially at bottoms, not at tops much. Again, it's always hard to pinpoint tops, but at bottoms, that emotion gets so big, and that's basically what's happening. Emotion and money just cross, and that's where it shows up there.
So what kind of time frame are you incorporating these days exactly? Like me personally, I'm thinking out weeks and months, right? I want to make money this quarter. That's how I look at things. How about you?
I do two different. I have basically my client portfolios are mainly ETF. I run an RIA that's mainly ETF, tactical ETF portfolios that are basically kind of a core and explore. I have all the basics, and then I explore it today. I've been doing sector work since 1996 when the only sector funds were Fidelity, period. And there were only like 8 of them. So like what we have today with ETFs, I'm like a kid in a candy store. Sure. It is just so beautiful. And so to be able to do a core and explore kind of portfolio and just rotate in and out of the sectors as they move, I love to hold them for multiple years if I can, but I'm not worried if I only hold them for a few weeks. If I'm completely wrong, let's get rid of it. If I'm good and I can make some money there real quick and it decides to peter out, maybe I'll take some off. But from the other side of things, from my personal portfolio, I'm kind of breaking a lot of rules. Because I am running way too many holdings for one person. But one of the things I always took up that never got out of the back of my mind with technical analysis is it's all probability based. And I always remember those guys always telling me, if you don't take every trade, you're not really taking the probability. And so I tend to be bad about holding way too many trades at very small pieces. And so in the market like this, I get a lot of winners, helps me rotate quicker, things like that. I mean, it's hard to keep up with a lot of them. And I'll I have some margin of error. I have some fluff. I don't always get the top or the bottom, but it allows me to be involved with a lot of things as we're rotating in out of areas. Right now, you even said it, some financials I'm seeing popping in, some energies popping in. Biotech I've been in for quite a while. Unfortunately, I tend to be early, so I kind of held on to it a little early. So it's nice to see this run hopping out there. But there are things like that you can kind of rotate into. But again, I think you would be a fool to look away from tech at this point, especially with the mega caps and the larger players starting to wake back up. Microsoft, a lot of the software names are waking back up, things like that. Today is a day. Make sure you keep it a day. Find an opportunity if you can. If you don't find an opportunity, wait till tomorrow.
I really like that, Tommy. Today is a day. I love that. That's great.
I think a lot of people are looking way too much into it right now.
Dude, you get one bearish engulfing pattern, and it's like people's fucking heads explode, right?
Correct.
Go back and study every bull market in history. You know what you're going to find? You're going to find a lot of bearish engulfing patterns. That's what you're going to find.
And that's it. There's a lot. What I call them is basically there's a lot of liquidation breaks in the middle of bull markets. It's basically they catch people, they run those stops, they do a lot of that stuff. And right now we're in a position, as we've seen with how long the different sentiment indicators have stayed bearish, is that literally you like prick your finger and everybody thinks they're going to have to cut off your hand. And that's how they're thinking about the markets. That's perfect. If that happens, as long as that happens, these markets are going to keep running.
Somebody tweeted out yesterday, is this a bear trap or the end of the bull market? And you can argue that it's always that.
Mm-hmm.
It's always either a bear trap or the end of the bull market. Like, that's never not the case.
Well, and I find myself doing it too, because technicians, again, probability based, we have to look at both sides, but I find myself doing that. But it is, I kind of squirm when I see myself doing it. Is just, a lot of people feel like they got to qualify both sides in case it is. Basically, here's what it comes down to for me is, do we go through a correction? Maybe. If we do, I think it'll be more sideways than down. If it's not, I'll adjust. But the reality is that I think we're set up strong into the end of the year, the first of the year. And I don't care whether it's the same ones that ran us up to here or not. I'm just going to pay attention during this little volatile turmoil time, because this is what's going to tell me where the next shift or who's taking the ball from here.
Let me ask you something, Tommy. You were talking about how people were a little jumping the gun a little bit on the market crash and everything like that. Sentiment's a little scared out there. I see it on the stream. A lot of pessimism out there. Volatility index pushing 20. S&P 500, NASDAQ 100, Russell 2000, and the Dow all closed October highest levels ever. VIX is at 20. Think it's a little high?
I think it is, but again, the options market has basically morphed so much in the last 5 to 10 years. It's a position to where there's just not much we can do until we kind of see how that settles in. I mean, the VIX right now, yeah, it's probably a little high in my opinion, but I think people are, again, still terrified that we're about to see, tariffs hit inflation, whatever, all that. But a lot of these narratives we've heard all year just haven't played to. I think I saw Ryan Dietrich put up yesterday that they keep saying it's going to hit earnings margins, and margins keep growing. And they're at the highest level right now after 3 quarters now of tariffs. Now, I understand they're still back and forth, but the whole point is watch the market, not these narratives. Stay on what's going on. And we do not have signs in these markets that say we are anywhere near a rollover, a crash, or anything. We're just seeing some rotation. You just have to follow it.
All right. Well, we got a couple of months left in the year. This is it. We don't want to call it a year just yet. We want to, strap them on and hit it hard. Where are we hitting these things? I'll tell you, I'll start. For me, I find myself, some of these oil and gas stocks that I was nibbling on a few weeks ago started working. So I bought 2 more last week. And I plan on probably buying some more oil and gas, maybe even today. So that's what I see. I try to do more of what's working. That's why I have so many biotech stocks, because they were working. So I bought more, right? So I've been doing that with oil and gas. You think I'm on the right track? You think I'm a little early?
I mean, I got spit out of oil and gas earlier this year. have started looking at it again. I mean, I think what it comes down to is I think that from a stance of if you want to be there when it goes, you're fine. You have a good stop below you on most things right now. I mean, I think on the list that I was looking at, I had PSX, just things that popped up last night. I had PSX. I had, they're not coming up right now. Quite a few energy names. It was actually the most of the names that were on there. EQT, some others that were in that realm. But at the same, P10 was another one on there. I think that what it comes down to is that that's a hard play right now with the geopolitical until it actually breaks higher. Unless, again, you're just, like you said, you're going months, weeks to months, then, yeah, you can put it in there as long as you're willing to stop yourself out. But I don't think it's shown itself yet as a leader. I think where we're at is those kind of trades to me are placeholders. Because I think no matter how you slice it or dice it, most of the earnings in these markets are still in technology, whether they've gotten a little ahead of themselves or not. So once those settle out in base, I still want to be prepared to take advantage of those into the end of the year, because I think there's going to be a lot of money manager chasing, because I think a lot of people missed this last little leg. That's why I'm not sure we'll go down very far, is because I just think there's a lot of money managers that missed a lot of this fall expecting a bigger pullback. And I don't think they have a whole lot of time left to make sure that they're positioned right.
Nominal short interest is at all-time highs.
Yeah. I mean, I see, the one that's funniest to me, and I wish someone would do the right one, is the one about the that tries to scare everybody with, margin debts at the highest number, and they do a number value.
Margin debt is like 1% of total market cap or something crazy.
They don't give you a percentage of the markets. They don't give you a percentage of GDP. They don't give you any of that. They just.
But that sounds low. Like if total margin is 1% of market cap, what are people so scared about? Like,
well, it is way higher. That's a perfect point, is that it's basically the same, just barely above the dollar level it was in 2000. How much bigger is our market cap? So don't be crying with me about leverage. It's in the system, sure.
Those are journalists and perma-bears. They use that as marketing.
Exactly. It's people who don't really, and I think I said that in one of the chats yesterday morning, is I think journalists marry fundamental analysts.
Ha ha, nice. So we'll close it out there. Tommy, you are the man. Thank you, bro.
All right, guys. Thanks for having me. Anytime. I really enjoy coming on. Y'all have a great week.
It's great.
Awesome.
Get with Grant.
Yeah.
Hook him up.
Yeah, I'll connect you. I'll connect you guys, Tommy.
They can have a little bromance together.
Definitely. Hey, before we hop, I know we got Phil lurking backstage. By the way, Tommy looking svelte. Tommy looking good.
Tommy is looking svelte.
Yeah, Phil said so too. Just before I bring Phil on, was there anything else that we didn't hit on today? We didn't really talk about Shopify or Spotify at all, but I kind of would have liked to.
Throw up the refiners there, slide 10. I think this is interesting. All-time highs for the refiners. These have been the leaders in the oil and gas space. New all-time highs for the old crack. And, the XLE doesn't look that dissimilar. Real piece of shit, that XLE doing nothing for the last 17 and a half years. You think it's going to go, Strazza?
I think it is, but that's what I think. Doesn't matter. We got to see it. I think we will.
No doubt. But we're already seeing it in the one on the top.
But it's refiners though. We gotta look. The big bullish data point right now is the price action from oil services. That's super bullish for the whole space. Refiners are hedge businesses. EMP. I want to see more. I want to see EMP
out of it this morning, but we'll see.
We want to see XOP look more like XES, right? That would be real big. And if that starts happening, look for XLE to be breaking out for sure. There's a lot of EMP in there. And then I just have one more thing to say. In a world with so much information, I just want to clarify some stuff from the chat earlier. Not today and never in the history of this stock was Palantir ever owned by the government in any way. I go way back with this company. It's near and dear to my heart. I know a lot more about the ownership structure and ownership history of this company than I do about the actual operations. What I can tell you is that 15 years ago, when I was updating the partners' accounts to send to the owners on a monthly basis, the CIA and the U.S. government owned 0% equity then. and they still own 0% today, and they're likely to own 0% in the future. You may be confused because the CIA helped fund this business by taking on some very large government contracts back in the day. But do not confuse that with an equity stake. This is not owned by the government.
I love when Strazza gets triggered by a company he used to audit. I love that. It's great.
No, I love like
this is one of my favorite Strazzas. I don't get to see this Strazza very often. I get the options trader YOLO guy. I don't get the old school auditor Strazza.
I like facts. Steve is just speaking facts. Yeah. I like facts. So.
I know very well the people who did own this company 15 years ago, and I promise you it was not the U.S. government in any way. But what a company.
But would you not agree that Palantir is potentially one of those White House asset management companies?
Totally, and I'll say it again. This is the stock of America, right? Like, if you're a good patriot, you love Palantir. Like, this is the most American stock that you could own. Listen to the way the owners of this company speak. They'll tell you that too. They want to be the stock of America. These guys are some of the biggest patriots in the world. Just listen to Alex Karp talk, and I think that's cool. But it's cool to know as an investor that that's kind of the vibe over there.
All right, hit it. Bring on up.
All right,
we have a
new. I didn't realize we had a new most American company, but apparently we do. All right,
pretty American. Pearl Dog. Listen, Pearls, are you here? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So, what's up? I've been collecting these magazines forever. I used to have them in my office back in the day when we first met, when I was managing my hedge fund. You remember all that. Sometimes I pick up some magazines just because they're funny. And so I wanted to share this one with you. This one's from the spring of 2001. I was going through, I just gave a presentation yesterday on the magazine cover indicators. So I was like looking through a bunch of old ones. I found this one. Come on. Tell me this is not hilarious.
It's a classic. I can't even believe it's real. It's so classic. And it brings back memories of, what was that show? What was that TV show with the lifeguards?
Baywatch.
Yeah, Baywatch.
This is a Baywatch. It's classic. And, the market didn't bottom for a year. Right? When did it bottom? It bottomed.
Oh, this isn't one of my contrarian indicator magazines. I picked this one up whenever I saw it because I thought it was hilarious. You're on the wrong mic, Pearl, so we're having trouble hearing you, by the way.
Oh, man. Okay.
But nevertheless, for those of you guys, who like to laugh, Perlman's always advising, just have fun. Have fun. Perlman's got a dog. She's, dog's always doing little circles. Why is the dog always doing little circles? Because the dog thinks it's fun. What's wrong with that?
Yeah, why do dogs get the zoomies? Because zoomies are fucking fun.
That's what it's called, the zoomies?
Yeah, the zoomies. Yeah, they love to run around. And you know what? I love to chase them. Like, my dog goes out back and gets the zoomies, and then I chase her around. And next thing you know, I get, like I'm huffing and puffing, and she's having a ball, and it's fantastic. It's just fun. Like, running in circles is fun. Doesn't matter whether you're a dog or you're 8 years old or you're. Hey, and by the way, Lackey looks great. Dude, Lackey has to update his photo on Twitter because he looks better now than he looked back then, 10 years ago.
Was Lackey part of that Tumblr crew that we were all part of back in the day or not?
He really wasn't. He was on the edge, but he was always doing good work. And I loved seeing him today because I haven't seen him in a while. And all he did was roll up his sleeves and get to work and do the work and do it like a yeoman day after day after week after month after year. And now he's built an incredibly successful career. He crushed it. I mean, yeah, Tommy, dude, shout out, bro. I'm looking at the comments. I mean, you look great. Your words of wisdom, they are earned over time in the market. Everything, dude. Just, here's
Tommy's pretty OG. Tommy's been around for a minute.
Tommy's OG. Yeah. And, update that avatar, Tommy, because you look better now. You look better today than you look better. I mean, you look great, dude. You look healthy. You look like you're thriving. It's just. I
like how Perlman gives a bunch of compliments. And he's like, well, now here's how you're fucking this up over here. You should fix that now.
Well, here's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about, like, nobody has any idea where the market's going to go. And if you care that much, you're fucked. That's where you're fucked. If you care too much about anything, right? If you care too much, you could care, but if you care too much. And so, I wake up this morning, I check on the Twitter, and I see a bunch of people freaking out, and I see a bunch of bears taking victory laps, and I see the VIX up a little, a couple points, and people care too much. Like there's this old Buddhist thing, like dispassion. And it's not apathy. I'm not talking about apathy. I'm not talking about like, I don't give a fuck, man. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, listen, the market's going to do what it's going to do. And your responsibility to yourself and your responsibility to your investors if you're running other people's money, and your responsibility to your family if you're running your family's money is yours. You own that. So what do you do with that? You put yourself in a position where every tick it matters so much. Every tick is going to kill you one way or the other. What are you doing? Like you're making a horrible mistake. So you have to you have to put yourself in a position where you are managing risk, where you can sleep at night. That's up to you. Now
hold on, Phil. Hold on. So obviously you're absolutely right. But the only way to truly appreciate what you're saying is to actually be there. When you're in there staring at the screen, tick for tick, because you're leveraged as fuck and your whole life depends on whatever, natural gas YOLO you're putting on, or Tesla calls, or whatever earnings, right? Like if you're not in that position where your body, you're physically hurting yourself, and that you're hurting your stomach, you can't even eat. Like if you've never been in that position, I would advise you to ignore everything that Phil is saying and go do that, so you can feel it. Otherwise, there's no way to know. Like there's trusting Phil, but I think you got to know. So if you've never felt that, ignore Phil altogether. If you have felt that, then you know what Phil is talking about, and we're all on the same page here, and don't do that, right? But I think you got to feel it.
Well, there's two groups of people that we're talking to here. There's three groups of people total. There's first group that learns by the mistake of others. That's a tiny group. And then there's the two groups that I'm talking to. And the two groups I'm talking to are the people who learn from their own mistakes. And that's who you're talking about right there. You get yourself into this position once, maybe twice, and then you learn from it. And then there's the third group, and that is the people who get themselves into that position once, get themselves into that position again, and don't learn from it. And that's who I'm talking to, because all my tweets are like subtweets these days. Like I don't want to call anybody out and be like, hey, you're a douchebag or whatever. But I see something in the morning and I'm like, relate. Oh, what's that?
I can relate.
You can relate to that. Like I don't want to call anybody out directly, but I wake up, I get myself a cup of coffee, I take my dog out for a pee, I look at the Twitter and I see somebody like, this is the end of the world. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like how much risk do you have on? And I know this person, and they run money. Like they're not, this is an advisor who runs a significant amount of money. And how are they putting themselves and how are they putting their clients into that position? And to your point, JC, they've been in this position before. They were in this position in April. I'm 100% sure. They were in this position in 22. I'm 100% sure. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if they were in this position in 08, thinking about it. I'm not going to mention any names, but I just want to say, so if you're watching this today, you put yourself in this position before, and you're in it again, and you're schwitzing the freaking, you're schwitzing the market right here. God, like manage your risk, like do something. Like, hey, I'm going to take a certain amount of money, I'm going to put it in a money market, so I'm not like, I'm not down 2% when the Qs are down 1.5% this morning. Like you don't need that if you're managing money for a long period of time.
No, 100. I like the putting things away. Remember, you guys made fun of me for selling the Solana to buy the lake house. Remember that? Well, I'm feeling pretty good right now.
You didn't do that. Wasn't a market call. So
it wasn't a market call,
it, dude.
It
Seriously?
wasn't a market call.
Jesus.
It was what Phil's talking about. Put a little away so you're not leveraged to the hill. It's what Phil's talking about.
Use the money you've made to buy nice things.
In fact, I was sitting right here a little bit frustrated that I didn't have any Solana, actually.
I wouldn't be frustrated if I were you. I'd be pretty happy right now. Phil, the point you're making, isn't that like an old like Buddhist teaching that really you could expand on? It's about like being mindful of how you expend your energy. Isn't that like kind of the foundation of a lot of that? Like, don't waste your energy on shit that doesn't matter or things that you can't control. Kind of like expend your energy on positive things that actually like have an impact.
There was this great philosopher called Smolyan, who he was one of the great Western interpreters of Eastern thought. And he was a silly guy too. Like, he was very playful. And he had a poem that went like this: whichever the way the world goes, whichever the way the wind blows, it is perfectly all right by me.
That's
and
great.
It's so dumb, and it's so simple, and it's so silly. And he was a simple guy. He was a logician. He was a mathematician. And I think of that. I read that probably 20 years ago. I've read it since, but I first read it 20 years ago. I think about it all the time because things happen every single day, and there's so much emotional volatility. If we had an emotion VIX, like that was just measuring people's emotional volatility out there, completely independent of the market, it would be like in silly land. It would be in like bipolar, rapid cycling bipolar disorder land, or borderline personality land, where people are like acting like babies. Like, how babies like are crying one minute and then they're laughing. We talked about that recently, Spencer. Emotional volatility. It's like, hey, just chill. The world's going to do what it's going to do, and you're living in it. And what are you going to do with it? Are you going to freak out every little thing, or are you going to just kind of do your thing?
I think people who are trained in technical analysis have a much easier time with this because, frankly, the principles of trend following can easily be extrapolated to what Phil's talking about because we're just riding the waves in life. We're just, rolling with the punches, following the motion of the ocean. And like, that's really what they teach you in trend following and technical analysis 101.
That's exactly right. And the market is a great reflection of life. It is a great sort of petri dish that we're in. Sports is the same way, and athletics is very similar. Very, very, all of those. Sports is a great, athletics is a great training ground to build that grit and to build that appreciation that, we're just riding the wave is literally a sport.
I like what Phil is saying here because, we're constantly having to deal with like these like soft little wussies. You know what I mean? If people spend more time in locker rooms and dugouts, maybe they wouldn't be such little bitches. You know what I mean? Maybe they would be a little stronger, have a little more grit. So what Phil is talking about sports, no doubt. Are you kidding me? Being a freshman on a baseball team in high school or college or whatever, getting picked on by the big guys. Guess what? Those same big guys at parties, if anybody ever messed with you, they would kill them. Right? Because they were the only ones allowed to pick on the younger guys, right? So the same guys picking on you were the guys protecting you outside. Like, it's all good. But you got to toughen up. Stop being such a little bitch.
The name of the book is The Tao of Silence. People were asking in the comments. We got Strazza's show coming up. Is that where we're going here?
We're doing it. So it's Tuesday, which means we do the open bar. When this show ends on YouTube, it'll automatically redirect you to the open bar with Strazza, which is going to start in a couple of minutes from now. So we should probably get out of here. We should probably just go. So,
dude, I love this show. I'm tuning in.
So let's go. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Phil and Kenny and Tommy and chat. And we'll see you guys right now for the open bar, which is airing live on YouTube, Twitter, and Stock Market TV.
Let's go.
I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah.